So early morning, you're getting up, you're getting old, he said. So by the way, today is the only day I got up in the morning. So I'm still younger. So I want to correct that actually. And thank you so much, MSR Garu, for making sure, coming back from Bangalore and making that to happen here. Everybody in the panel here. So there are a lot of challenges. There have been a lot of discussions were happening on the place. And I just wanted to push across. So this question is for everybody. Is there a mismatch in skills which the university is preparing the students for and the expectations from the industry, the fresh pass outs? There's always a challenge here. People say like, they're not industry ready. And there's a challenge there. People ask about that across. So is it a mismatch there, or is it are we going in the right direction? Rajgaru, I'll go with you.
Thank you, Banu. We have to admit the fact. Whatever the endeavors we are doing as academicians in the universities and colleges, the expectation from the industry is not being met yet. So there is certainly a gap between the expectation and the size of produce, the quality of produce from going out of universities are certainly inadequate. But for which the modern day universities are certainly doing their best. Particularly take the case of our own Usmania University. Earlier case, we were branded something else. But these days, all are branded for entrepreneurship. We have a technology incubation center here. We have startup incubation center here. These are the activities are driving towards removing the mismatch between academia and industry ready products. Certainly the activity is going on.
Okay.
Yeah? So beyond this, as we have already pioneered in taking initiative of bringing industry stalwarts as alumnus. They are all here.
Yes.
And the university is getting connected with them. This is the high time for us, instead of just seeking a cooperation or a funding support or a grant or financial support or expertise. Universities across the globe are driving towards non-profit to for-profit mode. Means what? Education is not for profit.
Okay.
But for the sake of sustainability of the institution, while deriving the sustainability of the institution, we make our own entrepreneurs here in the campus itself.
So I understand the question. The question here is there a mismatch?
Yes, I agreed. I have admitted there is a mismatch and there is an effort to overcome this mismatch. Effort is going on. Yeah?
Okay, great.
Yeah?
Okay, great. So, MSR Garu, over to you. Can you emphasize more on this? Is there a mismatch? Is it a myth? Or the basic education, yesterday we were talking about you. We should have the basic education. That is must.
I think two parts to this here. First of all, I think in today's time and age, particularly in technology-led businesses, there's tremendous churn, tremendous evolution, and tremendous flux happening. So I think I was actually talking to Dev here, and Dev said he has done some five pivots, right? Changing even in a traditional manufacturing business.
Okay.
He mentioned that he has had to change his business model multiple times.
Okay.
So where I am coming from, and I'll try and connect that part to this, is fundamentally I think we should think about education as one is about knowing facts and memorization of facts and understanding theory and applying it in practice. But I think one of the key things we should look at as education is about teaching young people what I call the 21st century skills, right? The 4 C's.
Okay.
Right? Which is, one is critical thinking, second is collaboration, third is creativity, and fourth is communication.
Okay.
Right? So I think that is where today, So for example, today, if you take a technical
Please,
example,
please.
right? When we were growing up, okay, I remember in OU, back in 81, 85, Fortran 77 was the language of choice, right?
Okay.
Now, who uses Fortran today? No one, right?
But
Today
that was
you
a
use-
base, right?
Huh?
That was a base.
So,
The
the point
foundation.
I'm trying to say is,
Okay.
programming languages will come and go. Today you have Python, okay, tomorrow you may have
Something
serpent,
else.
snake, something else
Yes.
coming, right? So I think what is important is you should give people a framework to be able to learn, to adapt, right? And keep pace with technology. That becomes critical,
Okay.
right?
Great.
So to that extent, I think today if you go to industry and you go to any
Correct.
large, I'm very familiar with the tech sector, having worked
Please.
there for so long. The challenge is when you take people on board, it takes you 6 to 9 months for them to start becoming productive. Because unfortunately, it is sometimes hard for academic curriculum to keep pace with what industry requires. So for example, if today industry requires people who understand, let's say, analytics or blockchain, right? Industry curriculum sometimes I think find it hard. So the way to solve for that is by focusing on what I call those life skills.
Okay. So these are the 4 C's that you can talk about. Bashir sir, please.
Yes, I think
I've seen a lot of work that you're doing it and helping the students. I'm sure you will definitely understand much better than anybody.
there's a huge gap, I would say, between what's being taught and what's there in the field. It has become even more challenging because the life cycle of any technology is becoming shorter and shorter now. Earlier, if a syllabus is changed,
Okay.
once in 15, 20 years, that would have sufficed. But not so anymore now. But when a young graduate comes out, when he enters the field, there are some expectations from him. Based upon the knowledge he has gained at the college, I'm taking only the syllabus knowledge,
Okay.
he doesn't fit in. And as was just mentioned that the industry spends few months, 6, 9 months to 9 months, 1 year. It's a drain on the resource of the industry too. Industry would love if they get students well taught at the college level itself. So when they come out, very quickly they can be up
Adapt.
and working for the industry.
Okay.
The second thing which I feel is very important in this, as we move on, we'll talk about it. The alumni would play a very important role. I'll say between industry and academia, the key player will be the academia also. He can be a catalyst. He can make things happen quickly to link the two.
Okay.
So this can be best be done by like OU Foundation and by involving a lot of industry.
Great. Thank you so much. Devendra sir, I mean, just to keep it very straightforward, is there a mismatch?
So, thank you, Banu. The mismatch is there, but what is the mismatch? That is the question. Now, when people ask me when I have done my mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, believe me, as soon as you get out of college, everything which you have learnt has become zero. You don't need calculus, you don't need thermodynamics, you don't need any of the subjects which you have learnt anywhere in your job. The only thing which you have learnt in the college, which is really useful in the industry, is how to learn. Now,
Good one.
now that definitely we are learning when we are in the college. The point is, I in industry and he in services and somebody else have various different expectations. The problem is there is no exposure of the students to the expectations which are there. So once they know, only then they can start preparing towards what it is there. So in any given place, the orientation, whether it is of 15 days or 3 months, is definitely going to be there. We cannot just lament that the students are not industry ready. Yes, we can take it more towards that. Make sure that we understand what are the real things which we finally require. Because I was just analyzing the panel today. Probably I'm the only guy who's ending up in manufacturing out of all of maybe 50% of the engineers. So what is the engineering going to really help you when you're doing a software job? But believe me, it is only the engineers who are successful in software jobs. So it's not that it's not helping, but it's helping in the background. So we have to understand that yes, the colleges are doing a great job.
Fantastic.
A little more exposure will make us industry ready faster.
Great. Thank you so much. Sai Garu, I think over to you. I mean, I'm sure you will be able to answer all this.
So first of all, thank you. It's a great question, and Happy New Year to all of you. So my answer to that question, I think we should ask the shareholders of Google, Microsoft, and Adobe as an example to say, what do you think? Is the Indian ecosystem, are they developing good skills? I would say absolutely. We are developing one of the best engineers in the world. I mean,
Yes.
the entire Silicon Valley, where I come from, the economy of Silicon Valley is actually coming from the engineers that are coming from Usmania.
Wow,
from
just give a big
IIT and
hand
all
to
of
this.
that.
Fantastic.
But having said that, there is an absolute more opportunity before us. Take a country like Israel. It's not even a size of Hyderabad. Look at the number of patents that they carry, right? So we are producing great people with great analytical, mathematical skills. But the first question whenever I hire any person, I ask, what do you want to do 5 years from now?
Okay.
What is your dream? And I think people who can dream are actually more successful people. I think we need to build an ecosystem for people to aspire, people to dream. I think that's what I see, like there's an opportunity. I won't really say from a skill perspective, I think we're creating great engineers in my opinion. Thank you.
Great. Krishna Reddy Garu, you said something. Is it a mismatch, the skill gap?
So good evening to everybody. So if there is a mismatch between the industry and the academy is there. A lot of gap is there. So as a teacher of the chemistry department, so what I find, we are teaching only theoretically. They are very good in subjects. When they go to the practical, when they go to laboratories, they are unable to do anything. So what I mean to suggest to the Vice Chancellor of this university, there should be a change in the academic curriculum. As a MSc chemistry, there are 4 semesters. In the last semester, there should have an interaction between the industry and the students. And
Okay.
dissertation should be done in the industry only. So that will be very useful to the students as well as the industry. So there should have one paper or 3 months course industry. Many industry people are ready to give the opportunity for the students, especially I am talking about chemistry.
Okay, great.
Like this also, you can take mechanical, other industries also. Many industries they take the students to and give the training. So after completion of their course, they can easily absorbed by the industry or anywhere else.
But nobody trained you, sir. But nobody trained you. You were there, right?
No. In the university, it is not possible to train.
Okay.
So you should have one semester in the semester at least one paper should be industry.
Okay,
They
great.
should go 2 months or 2 months to the industry.
It's like
They should
internship,
work
you
there,
mean to say.
agency. For example, chemistry is there. For many drug industries, the Hyderabad is the very big hub for the
Pharma,
pharmaceuticals.
absolutely.
So many industries are ready to give the training. So what I mean to say, you give at least one dissertation work for the MS students in the last semester. So
Right.
that will be useful to the students as well as the industry.
Great, thank you. Even Garu, what do you say, sir? Do you think there is a skill, there is a gap?
Yes, Banu, thank you. So actually, in the universities gives the practical knowledge, little bit the book knowledge, but actually the world gives the different challenges. So we need to explore that. We have need to international exposure. We need to bring, like someone said that we need to bring the Microsoft, some people to give exposure to the students, so that they can go globe everywhere.
Great, okay. That means we all agree that there is something, there's a gap.